Hello, my name is Fernando, and in this video, I'm going to be showcasing my project for programming languages, my term project. I proposed that I was going to do an online pizza ordering system, and that's what I'm going to be showing off here today, as well as some of the code that I used to accomplish this, and possibly explain a little bit more of the problems and solutions I went through that I kind of talked about in my technical report. So let's go ahead and walk through to the website that I made. This is the first page. Welcome to Fernie's Pizza. This is a three-part page website, and I wanted to make it feel as authentic of an online ordering pizza website as I could, because a lot of pizza places have either carry out or delivery, so I want to give the user that option as well. So for the purpose of a walkthrough, let's just go ahead and click carry out. This is the main HTML. This is where the user would pick the selection of pizza that they want. We have size of pizza, style of crust, amount of sauce, amount of cheese, as well as meat toppings, vegetable toppings, and all the prices are listed right here alongside all of the options, as well as the meat toppings are 3 per topping and vegetable toppings the same. And we just have some fill-in information just to make it feel more like an actual pizza website, an email, the payment methods that we accept. So let's go ahead and just fill in some information for a pizza. Let's say we want a medium pan crust pizza with extra sauce and light cheese. We want pepperoni, Italian sausage, jalapeno peppers, and onions. We'll go ahead and check out and it will alert you of the options that you picked. Um, Sides medium, crust pan crust, sauce extra, cheese light, meats, pepperoni, Italian sausage, veggies, jalapeno onions, and the total of toppings that you picked. When you close this out, it will give you the balance, which is $28.99, the accumulation of all of these. And after I close this, it's going to take us to the checkout page, but there is going to be a little delay, and I will talk about that soon. So this is the checkout page. Let's just go ahead and fill in some information, because if I just go ahead and place order, it's going to require me to fill all of this out. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just for the process of filling in address. So for the payment method, we take PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, and Apple Pay. For PayPal and Apple Pay, it's just basically going to, in a hypothetical type of sense, a lot of places we pick Apple Pay or PayPal, it'll take you to an external page so you could do your payment, because you don't have to fill in your credit card information. It's just pretty much autofill and processes that on their own. So if you do Apple Pay and place order, it's pretty much going to be done. The same thing with PayPal. But if you picked Visa or MasterCard, it's going to prompt you to fill in your credit card number, your credit card information. 3, 18. And we're going to go ahead and place the order. It's going to say order placed successfully, and it's going to take us back to the front page. So that's pretty much just a little the carry out walkthrough. We'll go ahead and do the delivery now, which is pretty much the same way. And we'll do just address 123 Main Street, Lockport 60441 for delivery. And this is the same thing. If you don't fill in the information and once you hit enter on the zip code, it will take you to the main HTML, which is pretty much the same thing. Just fill in um, options, anything that you might want. Check this out. Total toppings 10 gives you your toppings, your options, the same thing, and it'll give you your price. It's going to be a little delay, and it gets me to the checkout. we'll go ahead and do same thing. That's not a phone number. And we'll do PayPal, place order, and since it doesn't require any actual credit card information, it will just take us to the index HTML, which is what this is. I do want to talk really quickly about the styling of this website. Having this website as full screen is one thing. I did have some difficulties with the CSS, with the styling of. I personally think that it looks better like this because when you actually pick delivery, it's a little bit more closer. When you pick carry out, same thing. Um, this background image usually should be, oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Because when you just have it expanded like this, it doesn't really give you any of like the background image effect. But when you have it like this, it's a little bit better. Things are a little bit more cleaner, I think. It'll give you like the full background image. This is an AI generated image for Fernie's Pizza. Um, let's see, we'll go to checkout. And the reason why there's a delay when the checkout page pops up is because I set a set timer or a set timeout because when I had it click the checkout button, it will take me directly to the checkout page and it will exclude this balance. So it will just show the options and it won't show the balance because it'll take me straight into the checkout page. So I made a little delay so the alerts could get in and display, and when a user closes it, it'll give you the checkout page. So let me go ahead and go through the code. Again, this is my Statics web app, and it's hosted here on Microsoft Azure. All the information, the links will be provided into the zip file that I will submit. And I'm just going to go through the code really quickly. This is the index HTML. This is for any pizza welcome page. This is the title, the styling for the actual body. Background image, which is the pizza JPEG. Again, this is just all styling for the paddings, the buttons. In the technical report, I did talk about how getting these buttons right here to actually stay here in the middle and um, and not move around when I'm scaling the window was a little bit difficult. It turns out that I had to style it with, let me see if I can find it right here. Um, Right here, the address fields, I had to style them with the right percentage and the top percentage and have the position to be absolute. And it's pretty much the same thing with the buttons themselves. Um, Labels, the script, the only page that actually has an external JavaScript file is the main HTML, which is this page right here. This is the only file that actually has an external JavaScript. These are embedded into the HTML as elements. And the reason I did that is because these were kind of just like quick pages where there wasn't going to be any actual like Azure functions coming in and doing any calculations. So I found it easier just to have the stylings and the code, the JavaScript code just to be embedded into HTML just so I wouldn't have a lot of files to work with, and these were just kind of just to transition in and out of the main HTML. Let's see, what else, what else? The address divs for to toggle in the address fields are right here. For zip code, city, and address. Let's see. On click, it'll display address. And let's see. And then it'll wait for the event listener for the key press of the zip code, like I mentioned earlier. If you press enter on the zip code, it will take you to the main HTML, which is this code right here. And let's go ahead and move on to the main one. These are all the options are grouped by the again size crust. I would say this is pretty much straightforward stuff. This is just option values for each one. Pretty straightforward things. The field sets, which is a new element that I got to work with this website. I had never worked with field sets before, but once I started playing around with W3 schools and looking at different elements that I could use, I kind of found that this would inbox my options, and I thought stylistically and for the purpose of this website, I felt like that worked out the best. So I went ahead and just used field sets for my toppings. The JPEGs for the images, the footer for the PayPal images are right here. Um, the script for the main JavaScript is right here. And this is pretty much where the main calculations happen. Right here we have for the checkout buttons, add event listeners when they click. Um, this is for the Azure function, but this is pretty much just putting all of the size, crust, sauces, cheese, and meats into variables that I could actually use and send it off to the Azure function. Let's see, this is pushing the meat item values into a list. And same here with the vegetable ones. And the way that I was able to get the meat totals, the topping totals for the veggies and the meats was just pretty much this right here. The veggie count equals the veggie's length, and veggie count plus meat count, which is right here, just getting the length of the list and adding them together. And I needed this variable for total topping so I could send it into the Azure function. And right here is just printing out all the information. Right here for the balance for the Azure function. This right here is where we try to send the information to the Azure function. It's right here. This is the link for the Azure function, and we're pretty much parsing all the information into the link. Size, crust, sauce, cheese, and total toppings, we're parsing into it because these are the actual variables that are inside the Azure function that it's that it requires. We wait for the response and we alert the data, which is the balance. We catch any errors. And then when the checkout is clicked, we go to checkout HTML. Pretty straightforward things. Labels, inputs for name, email, phone, addresses. Credit card fields when the person picks Visa or MasterCard, it's toggled through here. And it'll take us back to the index.html once we click the place order button. So this is just pretty much the code for it. I think pretty straightforward. It's just kind of intertwining things and just making sure they work seamlessly. Like I mentioned in the technical report, this was all pretty much straightforward. The style CSS, this is for the main HTML. Um, the background, I had a lot of trouble making this transparent because it was a more solid color and it was a lot more difficult to read the actual selections that we have right here. So I had to actually have a generator. I looked up a transparency generator where I put this image through and it came out more transparent. And that's what I ended up uploading because when I tried to make it more transparent, it would make everything right here transparent. And that was one of the problems that I experienced creating this website is if I try to make this background more transparent, it will make all of this transparent, the whole body. And I found some solutions, but they weren't completely there. One of them was just to add a color block to the background and just have its transparency mixed with this. And it just was not working well because it didn't like fit the full page. So I just decided to uh, process this through the generator. Styles, centering, font sizes are larger, background colors, width and height of images, things like that. The real difficulty that I had that I spent the most time in was let me go right here to the actual calculations. So this is the actual Azure function. This is for the requirements of the function URL. It'll require pizza size, crust, sauce, cheese, and toppings, and the function for we're gonna let the balance be 0. I would have used if else, but I found switch is a lot better for readability. If it's small, 1099 is we're gonna add that to the balance. And same thing with all the other options. We're gonna do course handling. I had the biggest problems with the course handling because I was trying to test this locally, and I can show that right now. Let me go to my local work. We're gonna go ahead and do the main HTML. This is running here locally, and we're just gonna check this out and see right here. It'll say error fetching balance load failed. We're gonna inspect this, and I had the biggest problem because it said oh, it's gonna take me to the go ahead and try to give me the status code of 200 failed to fetch API can now load, failed to load resources. And through my process of working through this website, I figured out that I can actually call or test my Azure function into this local work because it just wouldn't work. I had to host it into GitHub. I had to upload all my files to GitHub and then have it hosted on Microsoft Azure as a static website. And then that's the only way it would work. And that's why I have the course handlers for the headers, the balance right here, catching any errors. The way I test this is I put in, this is something different, pizza size, and we'll do small. It should be 1099 or not. Oh, it's because it's not capital. 1099. So I had to pretty much have this hosted onto GitHub, and I had to work within the terminal to upload to GitHub. I just updated something right now in the checkout HTML because the credit card fields were not showing up when I clicked Visa or MasterCard. So this is just kind of how the process of how I uploaded everything into GitHub, and I could go right there right now. And the GitHub HTTPS link will also be available on the zip file that I will submit. And this is how I uploaded everything. I uploaded everything at once, except the Azure function. And the actions will show you all the times I pretty much updated it and been working on it. And do I have anything else I want to go through? I think that's it. I feel like that's all that I want to showcase. Thank you for joining me in this presentation. Thanks.